We create our jewellery from our studio in County Antrim, Northern Ireland. We're lucky enough to have Shane's Castle right outside our doorstep, which has been a great source of inspiration for us, along with many other historical sites throughout Northern Ireland, all which feature stone carvings and hand engraved pattern.
Our work is a contemporary exploration into ancient design and ancient jewellery. We took a lot of inspiration from stone carvings like those in Newgrange, where there's spirals carved into the stone, but also museums. The most prominent inspiration lately within our work is the use of rock crystal, and that came from a visit to the Archaeology Museum in Dublin, where we saw the Cross of Cong, which is a 12th century cross, and in the centre of it there's a large rock crystal which was said to once house a piece of the true cross, and that inspiration then led on to our research really into using rock crystal as a looking glass in jewellery, and it's become quite prominent in our style, where we will have rock crystal with engravings in below it, or the gold spiral again, which harks back to Bronze Age gold work. Whenever the pieces are worn on the body, the motif behind the rock crystal blinks in and out of view as the wearer moves. It adds a sense of curiosity to the work, and sometimes a whimsical element that keeps the jewellery contemporary, but it also adds to the story of the piece along with the titles.
Each piece made by myself and Martin is very much a conversation between the two of us. It could start as a very interesting piece we found in the museum, and that is then translated into a sketch, which I then take and create a three-dimensional piece in wax. Then this piece will go to Martin and he will create a wax setting for the gemstone. It will then return to my desk and I will add the hand engraving or texture on the piece. Once this piece is cast in metal, it then returns to Martin's desk and he sets the stone. Each piece starts as sort of something that we've thought out together. It goes back and forth between each of our benches multiple times, sort of can be 4 to 5 times before that piece is finished. So I think each piece is probably like a 50-50 part of both of us, but it's got both of our signatures and both of our techniques really embedded into it.
One piece that was particularly challenging to make in the collection was probably our protector brooch. Whenever we're making a piece that has a lot of stones set into it, we make each setting by hand individually to fit each individual stone, and that's always a time-consuming process. But also in terms of stone setting, the protector brooch has a lot of emeralds, and the emeralds require a particular amount of care when setting, and that really pushed my ability as a stone setter to refine what I do. Luckily I have a microscope and it's easier to take a certain amount of care when setting, but really every piece in the collection, because they're all different, they all have their own challenges, and everything we do is unique. I think our style is probably quite different to a lot of people through our process, because everything starts with a conversation, and so because there's elements of both of us in there, our inspirations and our style is varied, if that makes sense. And so we have the sense of ancient jewellery and ancient cultures, but then there's equally kind of a contemporary and curious and maybe sort of fun element in there as well. And so yeah, our design style as a whole it is just a collaboration really of two quite different things, but you know, it forms one Cameron and Breen.
Yeah,